Ladies and gentlemen, now in a bold move to tighten his hold on power, Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa has unleashed a dramatic Politburo reshuffle, effectively marginalizing allies of Vice-President Constantino Chiwenga as ZANU PF gears for its critical Congress. Now, this check-up announced Tuesday by party spokesperson Christopher Mutsvangwa has sent shock waves. It has sent shock waves through the ruling party, fueling speculation of an intensifying power struggle. In a statement from ZANU PF's Department of Information, Mutsvangwa cited the party's constitution, specifically Article 9, Section 65 and 67, as the legal basis for these changes. His Excellency the President and First Secretary Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa has exercised his constitutional authority to reconstruct the Politburo. The statement declared, framing the move as a routine realignment.
West. He says they are interloping, they are trespassing on our EPO on the EPO of his clients, which is the Delagio group, the one at PLS mine in PLS mine in Chegutu. I said, if I allow you to evict them, I will lose the elections next time we go to the polls, because these are ZANU.
Now, this reshuffle saw significant repositioning. Advocate Jacob Mudenda, formerly Treasurer General, steps into the influential Secretary General role, while Patrick Chinamasa takes over as Treasurer General. Remember, a few days ago we were talking about Jacob Mudenda and Patrick Chinamasa, their power in the ruling party of ZANU PF. Anyways, let us continue. Obert Mpofu, a close ally of Chiwenga, was reassigned from Secretary General to the less prominent Information Communication Technology ICT portfolio. Justice Minister Ziyambi was also shifted to Secretary for Legal Affairs, though billed as administrative housekeeping. Insiders reveal a darker motive. Mnangagwa has thrown Chiwenga allies under the bus, a senior party source who tell a local newspaper in Zimbabwe. Key positions once held by Vice-President Chiwenga's camp have been neutralized, ensuring the Congress won't challenge his authority or succession plan. The timing of the overhaul heightens suspicions of a deepening factional rift. Chiwenga, the architect of the 2017 military intervention that propelled Mnangagwa to power, has long been viewed as a potential successor. However, Mnangagwa's latest maneuvers suggest a resolve to extend his rule beyond 2028, with the political analyst Dr. Tendai Mavunga warning of a 2030 agenda that defies constitutional limits. This isn't about efficiency, it's a blatant power grab, Mavunga asserted. Official spin versus the insider truth. Mutsvangwa defended the reshuffle as a means to bolster party unity, stating this reorganization reaffirms ZANU PF's commitment to the policies and ethos of the permanent Zimbabwe revolution in service to the people. Yet critics see through the rhetoric, arguing it is a calculated effort to curb Chiwenga's influence and stifle dissent within the party's top echelon.
Ferrochrome is nearby. So the cost of production of steel in Zimbabwe is probably unbeatable if we can address the energy issues. And this company is building an energy plant at its blast furnace. So the South African side have accepted that we have an edge in raw steel production, but they want to maintain their global leader in the footprint in this downstream fabrication of steel. You know, South Africa is number 22 globally in exporting cars. They actually want to jump from number 22 to number 11. And they are seeing the Zimbabwe steel industry at Manize as the ticket to them producing world-class steel goods at a competitive global price so that they can carve out a niche which is better than Morocco or any of the other competitors to them. So the president is reaching out to his counterparts. The industrialist, steel industrial company in Zimbabwe is reaching out to the counterparts in South Africa to forge a new relationship. I remind everybody that there are two countries in Europe which fought about producing steel, France and Germany. 3 wars, 1870, 1914, 1939, wanting to align the coal and the iron at their border. Germany was invading France 3 times. When America became the power after the Second World War, they decided to cooperate and they formed what was the Franco-German Steel Union. That steel union is what is called the European Union today. But we don't have a history of fighting with South Africa. We are friends. We're fighting. We're actually allies fighting together for the liberation movement. So we have a better template to start, a better pedestal to start from between Tshwane and Harare. If we then throw Mozambique into the ingredient with its ports, to survive a war, it's a matter of luck. And once you survive, if you begin to see virtue in yourself, because waka survive a wondo, then you are not respecting Wamuai Wakasara. Because for you to survive, somebody to shoot.
This
one
is
was
a
going
death threat. I mean, a real death threat. There's no doubt about this. Is
to survive a war, it's a matter of luck. And once you survive, if you begin to see virtue in yourself, because waka survive a wondo, then you are not respecting Wamuai Wakasara. Because for you to survive, somebody to shoot.
This
one
is
was
a
going
death threat.
These gas deposits in Cap.
Now, as ZANU PF internal power struggles intensified on Monday, as party spokesperson Christopher Mutsvangwa launched a scathing public critique of Vice-President Constantino Chiwenga, dismissing a corruption dossier presented to the Politburo as a desperate political maneuver. The exchange ahead of the party's annual conference scheduled for October 13 to 18 in Mutare, underscores a deepening rift within Zimbabwe's ruling elite. Speaking to reporters at the party headquarters, Mutsvangwa downplayed the dossier, allegedly highlighting corruption linked to President Emmerson Mnangagwa's allies as a calculated attempt to destabilize ZANU PF and hasten the succession debate before the 2027 elective Congress. He says, we are aware of the dossier's origins. Mutsvangwa declared nothing that Mnangagwa had been informed of the document dated 4 months prior and would not entertain its claims. He accused Chiwenga of political opportunism, suggesting that the vice president's lieutenants were leveraging the allegations to garner public sympathy amid the party's volatile leadership race. The public spate has amplified concerns among political analysts about growing fractures within ZANU PF, where loyalty to Mnangagwa clashes with the ambitions of senior figures like Chiwenga. Mutsvangwa remarks signal a sharp escalation in the party internal beef, which has simmered since the 2017 coup that elevated Mnangagwa to power, with Chiwengas backing. Now, in a press briefing, reported by Ziyambi, Mutsvangwa brushed aside the leaked dossier, referencing the notorious gold mafia scandal as a recurring tactic to distract the party. Dossiers come and go. We have seen them for 45 years, he said, insisting that the Politburo would prioritize delivering prosperity over such distractions. He reaffirmed that leadership transitions would be determined democratically at the 2027 to 2028 Congress, not through ambushes via leaked documents. Mutsvangwa staunchly defended Mnangagwa's leadership, citing the president's commitment to a 2-term limit. He says, I believe in 2 terms. When my day comes, I'll go. The spokesperson quoted, while touting economic gains, the restoration of national currency, wheat, self-sufficiency, major infrastructure projects, and investments in lithium and steel. He highlighted the 1.2 billion steel plant in Manise, set for optimization by October, as proof of Mnangagwa's industrialization drive, bolstered by partnerships with South African and Chinese firms. On corruption allegations, Mutsvangwa urged journalists to submit evidence to Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission or police, dismissing social media claims as unverified hearsay. He also clarified that Central Committee appointments would only be announced via official letters from Secretary for Administration, not leaked minutes or online speculation.
To repeal it. That's not happening because America has become charitable. No. It's happening because they've seen that Zimbabwe can defy the odds and can prosper even when America is denying it access to the capital markets. Now they are saying if you can't beat them, maybe they join them. We welcome that. This is a good thing for Zimbabwe. The American market is huge. It's the largest in the world. We even want a reciprocal trade arrangement with America, as the president said. Why the reason? Because we believe that we can export steel to America and make money. No other African country can probably do that. This is what Zimbabwe has attained. So you can't argue with success, and nothing succeeds like success. These are the issues which our president and his party grapple with in the Politburo. How do we keep the economic momentum which we've gathered so that it can be sustained. Can I see water? Sorry. The Politburo also gets preoccupied with issues of food security. Yes, we are aware that there's something amiss. Blue Ribbon closed in Bulawayo. This is a major miller. And there are our reports from our people on the ground in Matebele.
All right. We see Opo makes a poster on the cabinet reshuffle. What does he say? So Opo has a very interesting insight. So we're going to find out what Mr. Hopewell has got to say there. He writes, in a dramatic announcement, President Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe has fired the Secretary General of the ruling ZANU PF, Dr. Obert Mpofu. Dramatic announcement, President Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe has fired Secretary General of the ruling ZANU PF, Dr. Obert Mpofu, and demoted him to the position of ICT Secretary Mpofu, who is very close to Vice-President Constantino Chiwenga, Mnangagwa's arch rival in bitter succession fight, has long been seen as one of Chiwenga's strongest counterweights in the ruling party of ZANU PF. The past 2 weeks have been marked by heightened drama inside the ruling party after Vice President Constantino Chiwenga presented an explosive anti-corruption dossier accusing Mnangagwa allies of looting billions of dollars, with particular focus on Kulakwashe Tagwire, widely regarded as Mnangagwa's preferred successor. The allegations have shaken the party and deepened mistrust between the two factions. President Mnangagwa, who was scheduled to travel to New York for the United Nations General Assembly, abruptly cancelled his trip after threats emerged that his closest allies could be arrested in his absence. According to reports, the Central Intelligence Organization strongly advised him against traveling, warning that leaving the country would expose his camp to crippling blows from rivals. The president to be deeply unsettled, fearing that a coup may be imminent as the war between him and Chiwenga escalates to levels unseen since the ouster of Robert Mugabe in 2017. The demotion of Mpofu is therefore being read as a desperate attempt by Mnangagwa to weaken Chiwenga's power base within the party, but it may also be a signal that the succession battle has reached a dangerous turning point that could destabilize the country further. Alongside the demotion of Obert Mpofu from Secretary General to ICT Secretary, the reorganization announced by ZANU PF through Christopher Mutsvangwa introduced 3 other significant changes in the Politburo. Jacob Mudenda, previously Treasury General, has now been elevated to Secretary General of the party, replacing Obert Mpofu. This is a powerful position in ZANU PF, placing Mudenda at the administrative center of the party. Patrick Chinamasa, formerly the Secretary General for Legal Affairs, takes over as Treasury General. This shift now controls the party's finances, a crucial role since he is Mnangagwa's ally. Another Mnangagwa ally, Ziyambi, who was Secretary for ICT, has been reassigned to become Secretary for Legal Affairs, replacing Chinamasa. This move keeps him within the Politburo, but in a more influential legal role, especially with succession tensions intensifying. These changes show a clear reshuffling of loyalties around Mnangagwa as key figures are repositioned to strategic portfolios. The immediate effect is to weaken Mpofu, a Chiwenga ally, while strengthening Mnangagwa's hand by giving trusted loyalists like Mudenda and Chinamasa more central responsibility. So this is a post by Hopewell there. Then he posts the documents there are coming from the ruling party of ZANU PF. Reference organization of the Politburo ZANU PF party in line with the constitution. As we can see there, he posts
why are they even letting the one in South Africa close? The one in South Africa is closing. If those people want to show that there is supremacy by the West, why is the South African steel company closing and ours is thriving? The one which is closing is not the Zimbabwe one. It's just on maintenance, and it will be coming back to production. Thank you.
Okay, so my last question. How true is it that Comrade Mnangagwa confronted Vice-President Constantino Chiwenga that he wanted to unconstitutionally remove His Excellency President Mnangagwa from power?
The only reason why probably Mnangagwa is coming out is because some people want to say therefore we cannot be criticized. I was in the war myself. I don't mind being criticized by anybody. I don't mind being criticized by anybody. We fought so that there can be democratic discourse. So singling out Comrade Matuke, it's very unfortunate and it's not necessary. And it's being done by people who have information in bits and pieces. And what they are trying to do is to egg on, and I repeat this phrase, to egg on one of the members of the Presidium to be in a confrontational mood with the whole Politburo. It's not good for that member. And I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to people who are egging him on. You are different from the others. To survive a war is a matter of luck. And once you survive, if you begin to see virtue in yourself, because waka survive a wondo, then you are not respecting wamwaye wakasara. Because for you to survive, somebody to shoot the one who was going to shoot you, and that person who shot may have then been shot and died. You walk upon her. So it's not good chest pumping. And furthermore, I also want to say it. We never fought in ZANU forces, and I think I was in the war myself. I don't mind being criticized by anybody. I don't mind being criticized by anybody. We fought so that there can be democratic discourse. So singling out Comrade Matuke, it's very unfortunate and it's not necessary. And it's being done by people who have information in bits and pieces. And what they are trying to do is to egg on, and I repeat this phrase, to egg on one of the members of the Presidium to be in a confrontational mood with the whole Politburo. It's not good for that member. And I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to people who are egging him on. You are different from the others. To survive a war is a matter of luck. And once you survive, if you begin to see virtue, Matuke is not right. And I would want people kuti vanzi vari sehondo tata angotakura futi 1-1 ndakanga chiwa. To survive a war is a matter of luck. And once you survive, if you begin to see virtue in yourself, because waka survive a hondo, then you are not respecting wamwaye wakasara. Because for you to survive, somebody to shoot the one who was going to shoot you, and that person who shot may have then been shot and died. You walk upon her. So it's not good chest pumping. And furthermore, I also want to say it. We never fought in ZANU forces, and I think also in Zipra forces, as generals. We fought as commanders and cadres. and comrades. Hatina mageneral atati kulakunda, but general anouya after the war. And a lot of the people who were fighting vakaramba kupinda mu army, vapedza hondo vakatapedza basa redu vakaenda havo. Some of us we just.
So what happened between Comrade Matuke and Vice-President Constantino Chiwenga? September 18, 2025. Harare's power corridors crackle with electricity, not from the city chronic blackouts, but from a verbal grenade lobbed in the heart of ZANU PF's Politburo. This is where Zimbabwe's fate is forged in smoke-filled rooms, and on this day, two titans would collide. Lavmo Matuke, the still state security minister, and President Emmerson Mnangagwa's unyielding enforcer, Constantino Chiwenga, the battle-hardened vice president and architect of the 2017 coup that birthed the Second Republic. What starts as a corruption probe spirals into a personal inferno, exposing the raw nerves of a party teetering on the brink of implosion. It ignites over billions allegedly stolen from the party's soul. Chiwenga storms in with a dossier thicker than a liberation war manifesto, accusing Mnangagwa's inner circle, led by shadowy petroleum baron Kudakwashe Tagwirei, of siphoning 3.2 billion from a secret 45% ZANU PF stake in Sakunda holding funds meant to fuel the revolution. Chiwenga thunders have been diverted to buy loyalty, flash gifts from cronies like Wignell Chivayo, luxury SUVs, paraded as personal donations to provincial bosses, mask a deeper root of the party capture. He demands arrests Tagwirei Chivayo, gold dealer Scott Sakpwanya, and Delis Nguaya. The room packed with nearly 50 heavyweights would hold its breath. Mnangagwa, the man they all once saluted, shifts uneasy in the chair. Enter Matuke, the Mashingo-born guardian of regime secrets, appointed security minister in 2023 to sniff out threats from within. No shrinking violet, he leaps to Mnangagwa's defense, or so it seems. You are plotting a military coup to seize power by force. Matuke fires at Chiwenga. His words, a dagger aimed at the general's legacy. The accusation hangs like tear gas in the air, dredging up ghosts of 2017. Was this the same Chiwenga who orchestrated Mugabe's fall? The room erupts in murmurs. Matuke, born in 1962, positions himself as a loyalist, exposing a traitor's hand. Chiwenga doesn't flinch. The general who crossed the borders at 17 and rose through ZANU's ranks unleashes a rebuke that slices deeper than any dossier. If I removed Mugabe and invited Mnangagwa back from exile in South Africa, he retorts, voice polished like steel, what makes Matuke think I now want to remove him undemocratically? He turns the knife. Where were you, Matuke, during the floodgates of 1977, when teenagers flooded into Mozambique training camps? Born in 1962, you were of age 15 or 16, yet absent from the front lines that forged us all. It's a masterstroke, weaponizing history to question Matuke's revolutionary bona fides. Chiwenga not just defending, he is reminding everyone, I am the party's spine. The exchange, leaked like wildfire on X, goes viral. We see one ex-user captures this thing. Chiwenga reminds the minister who he is. The blast radius widens. Mnangagwa, rattled, scraps the UN General Assembly trip, fearing arrest of his allies in his absence. He forms the probe committee, but insiders dismiss it as a smokescreen. Presidential spokesperson Joe Charamba's gaffe, insisting Chivayo's SUVs are party property, only bolsters Chiwenga's narrative of blurred lines between plunder and patronage. Whispers of a gentleman's agreement from 2017 soar into betrayal. Chiwenga as heir, now sidelined by Mnangagwa's Vision 2030, push for a third term, and Taguirey as shadow successor. Tribal undercurrents. Matuke's Karanga loyalty versus Chiwenga's Zezuru base, while retired generals quietly rejoin the reserves, a silent mobilization. This wasn't just a spat between minister and VP. It's the spark in ZANU PF's powder keg. Matuke's loyalty to Mnangagwa drew first blood. Chiwenga's retort drew the line in the sand. As Chipumsaruro warns on X, the soul of the party is at stake. So is the future of the nation, with the Mutare Conference a breath away. Zimbabwe braces. Will this fracture heal, or will it bet a new coup? The comrades who once toppled tyrants now eye each other as the real threat in the city of slaughter, Harare. The revolution devours its children again.
Went to other lives. So the fact that they may be generals today has no particular bearing about the performance of somebody in the war. It's to do about the Zimbabwe defenses and its professional army. But some people were not cluster around a certain individuals at a particular time, want to elevate those people. No. I had to disabuse during one of the interviews here in the Friday drinks about trying to elevate certain comrades from the war above others. Hakuna akanga ari comrade kupfura vamwe kuhondo. Tata angutakura futi 1-1. Indakanga chigwa yangu ndiri 1-1. Saka handina muhwa ndinoona sunga agamba kupfura kwa zvandakaita ini. Ende handimbozoona ndiri gamba kupfura zvakaita vamwe vapenyu kana vakafa. We just fought together. So I think any singling out of Matuke is not right, and I would hope that if those people who are doing it think they are doing a favor to that particular member of the Politburo, they are not doing him a favor. And I don't know whether he has got communion with those people who are doing that. I hope he will have the respect to tell them that they should stop it, because it besmirches his integrity as a war veteran himself. If it gets to that. Furthermore, that matter was just a kerfuffle. There was not much talked about. Somebody, the president came and said, there's this dossier came from somewhere, and the Politburo says, we don't deal with dossiers which don't come from proper institutions. So we said, who is the author of that document? And nobody wanted to own it up. Somebody wanted to read it, but the president had already read it for us, so we knew what was inside. So the Politburo says, our president, we are not foisted agendas by outsiders here in this Politburo. This is neither here or there, so the matter was shunted aside. It was just, it didn't really had anything to do with the deliberations of the Politburo about on that day. The Congress, the conference in Mutare, definitely the issues which I've talked about how the president can close the gap between infrastructure and the economic growth, what he's trying to do in foreign diplomacy to attract more investment capital to Zimbabwe, the quest for a Security Council seat at the United Nations Security Council by Zimbabwe, and the campaign which must go into it. Then the resolutions which were coming out from the provinces, including the organs of the party about the conference in Mutare, those are the things which occupied us, not this matter. Pane vamwe vanhu vanongofunga kuti ZANU PF ichateerera zvinotaurwa nana Hopewell nana Temba nevamwe vari kuona naAustralia. Hativazivi kana taakutaura zvinhu zvine basa mumusangano medu. And they really don't matter, no matter who is sponsoring them. And their effort at trying to create a resonance within the presidium is coming. It will never bear fruit. It won't, because we take the job of running Zimbabwe and delivering prosperity.
Big up to Parai Makosa says Machine Anogara Nichibodo Rokutanda Nyadzi, Monica Luisa Januario, everybody who's watching us live, big up.
And paying homage to the people who died for this country. We take it too serious to be distracted by petty agendas. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ambassador Mnangagwa. My name is Sam Chakawi. I want to understand.
I'm not hearing you.
Good afternoon, Ambassador Mnangagwa. My name is Samuel Chakawi. I want to understand what will it take for the persuaders to persuade President Mnangagwa to go beyond 2028, and are there any indications that the persuaders might succeed in their bid for President Chiwenga?
It's a personal decision. It's a personal decision. It's him. You see, he saw what old age can do to a leader when he was vice president in the First Republic. So he must be very conscious in his mind about with what time one should go or not go. He is a very intelligent man. He has been long in the trenches, surviving. In fact, those who don't know, those who are against Zimbabwe, they actually wonder how he has survived to eventually be where he is today. So he has gone through it all. As things stand, he is of very sane mind about running this country and where he wants to go. But he is also very conscious about his obligations to the country which he has dedicated his whole life for since he was about a teenager. So I have every confidence in him that he will make the right decisions, as he is doing right now about this country. By the way, in all the sinews of the economy which I have been describing, gold, tobacco, steel, I've been working with him. I have been finding somebody who is very receptive to very progressive ideas about where we want to go. And I remind everybody, I'm a diplomat from Brussels. I know the trade in goods and services, because that is the headquarters of the EU, the largest trading bloc in the world. I spent and went to school. I worked in New York. I studied in New York, the money center of the world. I know the value of money from the epicenter of money globally, New York. I went and I served in China. I saw capital change a backward third world huge country called China into the second largest economy in the world. I saw what foreign direct investment can do. It has been a breeze for me working with President Mnangagwa on all occasions to make sure that Zimbabwe can have the sinews of the economy which we are talking about. He is the best businessman in Zimbabwe today. Pane vamwe vanozoti taama businessmen vari kutaura hwahupfu. Vamunangagwa vanobvira kuchiri kurimwa chiri tsanga mhodzi kumunda. Ndoko vanonotangira ikoko yozorimwa yokohwe yosakurwa yokohwe yozopinda mudura. Ndokunobva Mnangagwa. He has been part and parcel of these decisions which I'm talking about, which have changed the country in the last 5 years. And I've been with him on each and every occasion. And I can vouch for you that when it comes to what is good for Zimbabwe from economic and business point, he is second to none. That's why he can score such illustrious, such game-changing projects on the African continent, like a steel plant, like lithium investors. He is the first to break through, like restoring gold production to Zimbabwe to the levels at which we are. And I'm proud that on each and every those occasions, I've been lockstep with him. So I'm talking about what I know. And I'm prepared to challenge any economist or finance person in this country for debate. About what Mnangagwa has done for this economy. And I give him Ganoves, some dish. Because what they were talking about this economy and what Mnangagwa has delivered is totally different. I'm glad I can read the phone gift. Right. So this is that's how I can put it. He's my friend, but he's a mwana, by the way. So I'm not denigrating. He doesn't fall into the ilk of the other ones whom blessed propounds. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Chen Williams from Ziyambi Independent. I'm taking you back from when you said that you do not see color when it concerns. You do not see color when it concerns investment. Are there any foreign investors or future projects that Zimbabwe might be facing?
Future investment projects?
Yes, and also investors and projects that Zimbabwe.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much. At least now I'm being asked something which excites me. Yes. The first major project, which is urgent and President is going to announce it very soon, is Newman is a city. That steel plant will, you know what Zisco did to Kwekwe? Redcliffe, what he did to Kwekwe. That's what Manize is going to do to that area. So a special economic zone has already been gazetted. A board will be set up very soon. And there is a slew of investors from Turkey, from South Africa, from China, who want to come and put plant in Manize. The reason, because the company which is producing steel there is the best in the world. They know the quality of steel. So I advise varimuno majournalists kuti mozotsvaga maadress kumanize edzimba dzekugara mastent, because the amount of iron ore in that area is enough for 300 years, if not more. The coking coal in Wange is enough for 1,000 years. The ferrochrome along the Great Dyke is enough for 500 years in Zimbabwe. Saka steel production in Manize will be going on it's an intra-generational project. So if there's a likelihood that you wake up in the resurrection, you may wake up on the right address, yawakamingo uchigara. Enda unotenga emba kuna Manize. Kupfura kwa muri kugara uko. That town will be around for a long time. So the building of a new smart city in Manize is pressing. Incidentally, the 4,000, 3,000 young people who were building that steel plant, vachiri kugara mabarracks. Now the pension funds in the country are now stampeding to Manize. The insurance companies, they are now stampeding to Manize to build infrastructure. There will be need for stadiums. We will need logistics centers. We will need a railway line from Manize to Mvuma to take away all that. The trucks, there are about 300 every week going to South Africa taking steel. We have to take those trucks away from that road. Otherwise, very soon it will be plowed out by heavy duty trucks going to South Africa. We need the railway line back. So the railways need investment. That's why we are so happy the president was in China talking about railways. We need electricity. We need roads. This town is at the center of the country, equidistant from every part of Zimbabwe. So the whole enabling and answering, we need a dam on the Munyati River to supply water to the new town. That town will be not less than 50 to 100,000 people in the next 2 to 3 to 4 years. Manize. So that's a project on its own. We need a new railway line from Manize to South Africa completely, all the way to Harare. This is important. We need more power stations. The World Bank is actually now putting more power stations on the Cabora Bassa Dam in Mozambique because of the expressed demand for electricity at Manize. But also there will be a lot of smelting of chrome from Gwanda up to Shamba on the Great Dyke, because steel's alloys have nickel or chrome. And because Zimbabwe and South Africa have 85% of the world ferrochrome, there will be a lot of investment in ferrochrome smelting between the two countries. A lot of electricity will be needed. So we are very happy that President Trump put $4.7 billion in Cabo Delgado gas liquefaction. That is for export to Europe, China, and India. But near those gas stations, those gas liquefaction plants in Mozambique, we want to build thermal power stations. We have to then construct power lines from Cabo Delgado to the consumption centers in the center of Zimbabwe because of the steel industry. So that steel to build the power lines will come from Manize. The cabling will need steel, it will come from Manize. The railways I am talking about, the steel will come from Manize. That's why we are having a symbiotic relationship with South Africa and Zimbabwe. Because South Africa has got quite an advanced industry in fabrication, but they don't have quality raw steel like we have. So this is a symbiotic relationship between Zimbabwe and South Africa. It's opening up mind-boggling opportunities of development. I can assure you that the next industrial base of steel in the world is going to be between Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Mozambique. Izvozvo zvakadarwa naMwari, because zvinhu zvacho zvinonadzira steel zvese zvakapiswa panzvimbo 1: ferrochrome, vanadium, manganese, coking coal, iron ore, zvese Mwari akazviunganidza pakati peZimbabwe, South Africa, in Southern Africa and Mozambique. Mwari wacho aitida. And power yacho energy tinayo iri kubva kuZambezi Valley kana kuHwange kana kupi. So these are the issues which are going to be the drivers of the Southern African economy for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years. Vachatapirirwa vanhu vachaibuya kuzoita mari kuregion kunoku because tinazvo zvatakapiwa naMwari. I hope it answers you.
Yes,
so the whole infrastructure surrounding logistics, surrounding that's ports in Mozambique, railway lines between Mozambique and Zimbabwe, between Zimbabwe and South Africa, between Zimbabwe and Zambia, between Mozambique and Zambia, all this railway infrastructure. Once you have a steel industry, these things become feasible, they become attainable, and that's what President Mnangagwa has done.
Okay, fantastic. Are there any corporations?
And for that, we don't care, because njanji yekuAmerica inotakura chitima, njanji yekuCanada inotakura chitima, njanji yekuIndia inotakura chitima, njanji yekuChina yekupi. So that's why I'm saying capitalism is no color. We are happy with capital from anywhere. Tinotosvotwa nevanhu vanoti vamwe vanhu vakaunza capital votanga kuvatuka nenzira yeganda ravo tongoti madofo.
Okay. And sorry about the railways. My companies are listed on the railway project. Like, are you able to provide names of the companies that are?
We want South Africa Rail. It's naturally our neighbor. We want to have a stake in that game. We want ArcelorMittal South Africa, which is a major steel producer in South Africa, the one which is now closing its plant because they want to buy from Zimbabwe. We want them to become a partner. We want Caminho de Ferros Mozambique, CFM Mozambique to be involved. We want China Rail, which is the biggest construction company for railways in the world. We want them to be involved. Indian railways are already in Mozambique. We also want them to be involved. Indonesia is interested. Turkey is involved. So the more the merrier. And that the same goes for pipelines for fuel. The same goes for pylons for transmission of electricity. In fact, as I talk now, that workshop at Manize, which built that steel plant, the DISCO is prepared to lease it for toll manufacturing to Zimbabweans. The best welders and iron steel smith in Africa today, Zimbabweans, wakawaka that steel plant. We want them to get a new life. Maybe the mining equipment, which is being used by our mines, which is imported from China. We now want that intellectual knowledge, and we start manufacturing it in Manize. We will become a country of steel widget producers. The metallurgists in this region are going to be world class. The American Welders Association, this is true, has actually decided to come and put an institute in Manize. This is the maker of welding in the whole world. The American Welders Association. Check them on the internet. They are going to put an institute to train Zimbabweans about welding. World-class, uncompromising quality will be coming out of the technicians which they will be teaching at Manize. I don't want to lie to you. Any other question? Before you go to Chicken Inn.
Alright guys, that was it for now. Big up to everybody who was watching us live right now. Farai Makosa, Sipas Koli, Monica Luisa, Januaro, everybody who was watching us live. Thank you for watching TV7 Live. All right, with that, I'm going to sign out. Preaching flames, the preacher says Mutsvangwa is a colossal disgrace to the Zimbabwe. Sipas Koli says,